Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon to everybody on the East Coast, especially by the time these videos upload. It'll probably be late afternoon. I don't know why, but YouTube is taking a long time to upload my live streams. But hey, it is what it is. Pretty soon, when I get more people, y'all can watch me live anyway. So, hope y'all had a good Monday. Hope y'all enjoyed the games. First and foremost, sending thoughts and prayers to Tyreek Hill. Not thoughts and prayers, but just prayers and wishing him a speedy recovery. He got injured pretty bad. He's out for the year. He dislocated his knee, tore a bunch of ligaments, which included his ACL. Just hopefully he can get back on the field and just recover and just be back to his normal self. A lot of times we play such a violent game, and we don't realize that some of these injuries, they're not just something that you could just get over after just a week or two, or they're lingering, they're nagging, and they can interfere with your day-to-day activities. So it's going to be a long road to rehab for him, but he's a fighter, and I wish him a very speedy recovery so he can just get back to doing the things that he loves. And we definitely need the cheetah back in the league for sure. So there's that. And while we're there, we can talk about the Dolphins versus the Jets. Let's see. All right, let's pull up the numbers here. We got 21, 27, 23 first downs for the Jets, 19 for the Dolphins. 207 passing yards versus 177 passing yards for the Dolphins. 197 rushing yards, 123 for the Dolphins. On paper they have won in most of the important statistical categories except for the turnovers, of course. And it Justin Fields definitely showed signs of greatness. He passed for 307 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he showed that he can really ball. You don't know which one you're gonna get, but he came through and did his best. But once Miami took the lead, they just never gave it up, and I called it. I knew the Dolphins were gonna win because the Jets just don't have a lot of personnel, but you know they're showing some promise with Fields. They're showing some promise. And Miami, their running back stepped it up. Devon Ashani ran for 99 yards and a touchdown. You know, a lot of people stepped up for the Dolphins. So it was good to get this win under the belt. I still don't see them going anywhere, but hey, it's football. There's a lot of football left to be played, and instead of putting pressure on you, oh, we're gonna go to the playoffs, to the Super Bowl, just go out there and have fun. So it's good that the Dolphins got the win. Not so good about Tyreek Hill. Um, so uh, hopefully, he can get good with that. But it was a more entertaining game than I thought, and seeing Fields break out for that 40+ yard touchdown was awesome. The young fella got some moves. Well, he's a veteran now, but he's still young. He got some moves, and it was a very entertaining game on Monday night. And that's the thing about Monday Night Football. They all just bring their best. It's under the bright lights. Sundays are great, but that Monday Night Football is even though I wasn't really a fan of either of these teams, and the lineup this week, even the Bengals and the Broncos, we want to see the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, you know what I mean? So, but they did their part. They showed that they both still got a lot of fight in them. Just a lot going on both teams. So it was good that they could play. So it'll be interesting to see what happens now, as if Miami didn't have enough problems, with Tua's inconsistent play, with which he didn't play that bad yesterday, but just in general with that, and then McDaniels being questioned, and now Tyreek out, it's like, it's going to be a long road for the Dolphins, but at least they got this win. They have something to think about, and now they can move on to the next week. All right. So now who do we got? We got the Broncos. Let me see. Um, the Broncos and the Bengals. So um, this is kind of what I expected. I knew that the Broncos, they have a great quarterback, and Sean Payton is a great offensive mind, and they butt heads a lot. But I feel like this was their redemption game because the Bengals are just down bad right now. I know their record is 2-2, but they're down bad. They're gonna go through some serious soul searching with Burrow out of there. And there are some questions about that. Do you draft a quality backup? Not that Browning is a bad backup, but Cincinnati has to make some decisions because 106 passing yards, 53 rushing yards, only 9 first downs. Look how many first downs the Broncos got. Um, oh, let me change that title. Dang, I was almost gonna be mistake free this stream. Hold up, let me change the title. Hold on. Numbers going into week 2. Come on, man, we in week 4. Hold on. Um, let me see. Tail of the. All right. All right, there we go. That's it. You know, game recap. Did I do that for the Jets too? Oh no, I got the game recap. Perfect. Good, good, good. Man, you always forget one little thing. Anyway, back to the stream. Um, Bo Nix came through. 326 passing yards overall as a team, 186 rushing yards, only one turnover. They did what they were expected to do. Nothing to see there. It'll be interesting to see how Denver can fare with the Bills and everybody, because if their offense is clicking, their defense is decent, they can make a strong push. They just have to get everything, in sync. And it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But they could be a factor. They could be a factor in the AFC. And let's see. Um, you know, the Bengals. I mean, look, uh, they got 11 penalties. Um, 8 of them were accepted for 65 yards. Costly illegal formation that nullified a 37-yard catch by T. Higgins. Um, I mean, they just they just did really bad on offense. What's another stat? I mean, they didn't get a first down for pretty much most of the game. It just they they're just not doing good, and we can blame the backup, but that's what kind of expected. You only expect them to hold it over for a couple games. I mean, this is going to be a long year. I know you guys saw some other podcasters. Shout out to Nightcap. Ocho was out there crying. I don't. It's going to be a long road for the Bengals. I mean, the Broncos dominated on every front. So, um, uh, and Patrick Surtain, whoa, he only allowed one catch for 8 yards on 3 targets in man coverage. So obviously, if Burrow was in there, he would have. On Chase, by the way, he held Chase to only 8 yards. So obviously, if Burrow was in there, they'd figure it out. They're more in sync. But we need to start looking at Chase and Higgins as the security blanket, because they got to do something. I mean, I don't know. What do you do? Do you fire the coach? Do you just give up on the season and just sharpen your tools for next year, or do you try to win as much as you can and hopefully Burrow can get you on the last stretch? I mean, if you look at what happened last year, they lost a lot of games, and then Burrow made a last push because his QB play was MVP level, and they were like really fighting to go to the wild card, but they just not winning. No defense, and now no offense. There's not much to say about Cincinnati right now. But the Broncos, they got a good shot at at uh, at making a statement in the AFC. They still got a lot of competition. The Chargers, the Chiefs now. I don't know about the Ravens. They're still dealing with what they're dealing with. We still haven't got word on Lamar. It's just a lot to think about in the AFC. But the Broncos could a couple injuries couple setbacks, they could, if they can maintain consistency, they can make a deep playoff run. So let me know your thoughts. Get in the comments. That's just my quick stream, my Monday night recap. Prayers for Tyreek Hill. And I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna try to upload again tonight for the previews of Week 5. But knowing how long YouTube is, that shit won't even get up till tomorrow morning. So I'll get up with y'all. Y'all have a good Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday, especially all my SoCal peeps. I'm definitely, I might go get some today. I gotta eat a little bit healthy, but yeah, I might hit some tacos up later. Y'all have a good one.